Thank you. I'll quickly start. So, I'm Satish Krishnan, and I have Suresh with me. We are from Tata Consultancy Services, and I lead the GTM unit for my CMI vertical. Suresh leads solutions for me. So, today, next 15 minutes, we just wanted to give a glimpse of how we can reimagine media operations on Azure as a fundamental block. And we'll showcase a demo of our accelerator we have built around Azure. Right. So, why is media operations trained? I think we all know that the rising content volumes, it's actually exploding, not expanding, and beyond typical content generation. Now it has taken a different formats. The endpoints are different, right from reels to 8K videos. It's really testing the boundaries of what content operations can do. And from a consumer perspective, it's still demanding. There are a lot of need for speed, personalization. They want it instantly. So for business leaders, what it means is pressure on revenue, pressure on marketing. And for technologists like us, it is challenging all our infra and architecture concepts we are building on. So now the question is, what can AI do, right? So last couple of quarters, we have seen a paradigm shift. So we are also walking around Central Hall, and we saw a lot of individual specific solutions there. So the big question is, where is AI going to make a play? So what we're realizing of late with customers is where there is an orchestration pain point, and that's where there is a need for AI, and leave the heavy lifting of the production to the respective core solution builders out there. So the question is not about whether to use AI, rather where to use AI and where it becomes return of investment of nature. And even if you look at a typical use cases flow, there is automation today, but the challenge comes in where you look at multiple friction points, especially on the handover phases. So there are a lot of manual steps. People upload, people share files, and that's where the delay happens, and there is a problem around that. So how do we reimagine this whole process is what we were looking about. We were thinking about Agentic being a hybrid rather than a one-stop solution. So what Microsoft Azure's latest services and release has brought together is the capability to orchestrate and sit along with the systems already in place in the ecosystem. That's what we will see today. So primarily, to summarize, it's like it's Agentic definitely. It's the hybrid, and we are moving towards an asset-centric model, when orchestration is happening. So how do we decide, what rests where, right? So there are 5 key questions to answer. The first one is, what is the asset gravity? So things like, your live streaming, Resonine, content, etc. It's better to leave it in the source of origination so that, the latency is taken care of. And primarily, where does the Agentic AI add value? So wherever there is a handoff happening, wherever there is a friction in the handoff, that is where we believe Agentic AI will make a difference, and we are seeing that in the customers you work with. And also very important to see what is to be grounded. So the compliance and check, these are all areas where you are seeing quite a bit of use of Agentic AI in picture. Quickly to summarize again, the way we are advising our customers and we are building this accelerator framework is from a 3-stage perspective. The first stage is to strategize. When I say strategize, you decide on what workflows need to automate, and the simple answer to this is where there is a lot of manual handoff. That is the first point to look at it. So you look at and prioritize the workflows to be identified and decide what is the autonomy level you needed. Once you're through with that, then you move towards a phase called industrialize, where you have an hybrid architecture built in. Look at agent workflows and orchestration, integrate your downstream systems, etc., so that the entire flow is happening. And ground your policies and controls to the organization standards. Finally, once we are through with this basic foundation setup, we move to an operate and an optimize phase, where typically you monitor and fine-tune your agents, you manage your compliance need, and then finally you measure your business KPIs. That's a way we did it. So with that, what we wanted to quickly showcase today is Azure AI-based foundation which we have created. It's an accelerator from TCS. which can sit on top of the existing ecosystem with customers. We are not trying to rip and replace. The idea is to merge into the entire workflow and see how Agentic can transform the media operation supply chain. I'll quickly ask Suresh to take you through the demonstration.
Thanks, Satish. So we see 4 core products of Azure that we used in this demo. So Azure Arc is basically the bridge that connects the on-prem infrastructure that is heavily GPU workstations and every server farms with the rest of the ecosystem that lives on the cloud. So not every asset need to be moved to the cloud. So how it works and then how it comes together is what the demo is all about. Let's go through that. So what you're going to see is the entire supply chain, starting from the media asset is there, a raw video, and then how it gets indexed, analyzed, and then produce a 30-second clip, for example. And does it comply with the brand guidelines, safety considerations, etc. And then you localize. So you want to dub, you want to create subtitles and whatnot to further monetize, and then ultimately you deliver to the endpoints, and then you inspect all along the way. So you have the Studio Flow is the accelerator that we built, its capabilities, and then the various Azure services that we used over to the right here. So let me quickly step through the demo. So you'll see the demo starting with, you can pick the asset and we pick up example video, Blender video, and then you can use a dub target locale. And then here you notice that we'll give a prompt and then run the pipeline. The prompt you'll see extract a 30-second clip covering those areas, a dog, a natural ambience, etc. And then it will go through these 6 different stages along the pipeline. It will go through the video indexer, content understanding, and we build pipelines and then stores in a database all the metadata, and then it generates those scenes and index scenes. You'll see 26 scenes kind of created, and then it shows analysis of objects detected, people, and then localization options that were done, and then compliance outputs and producer cuts. So what they have created as a kind of subset of that. And here is the scene search, bringing back what's been done, and it extracts exact 30-second clip that you asked for from the dog and child being in the video. And then you'll see the pipeline here further getting the production here. A producer could create your own subset of the video, a 30-second video. And then you can separately create subtitles or dubbing in multiple languages, like 25 different languages over here. And then you can run the compliance workbench to see, define various rules and let agent run it. Or you have a chatbot, operational chatbot to run additional tasks so that you don't have to go to the dashboard. So everything is kind of integrated end to end so that you have a very cohesive supply chain workflow all in one area, all built on Azure. So thank you. Any questions? Thank you.